All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha, Quadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing His truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And I wanted to do a response video to a video that was uploaded by Malcolm. So let's get right into it.
Shalom. Call hello, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kudash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than never. The would-be judges, the 144,000. And the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black thing, a color thing, but an Israelite thing, a bloodline thing. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And there's a reason why there's a map of Asia on the screen here. As you can see, the so-called Middle East is in Asia. All right, always has been. The term Middle East is a made-up word to prove a false.
Right. Because you got people who believe that, Europe and Asia are different continents when really they're not. Asia and Europe are one whole continent. Because see, they'll say there's 7 continents, the United States of America, Antarctica, Asia, Europe, Australia, and I believe Russia. Oh yeah, and I believe China. But there's really only 6 continents, because Asia and Europe count as one continent.
Social construct of so-called white superiority. You also can see that that Europe is also a part of Asia, always has been. All right, throughout Asia, Asia is the biggest continent. So in actuality, there's only 6 continents, not 7. They teach you that Europe is a separate continent, but as you see, you can walk from Egypt, from Africa, where the Hamites dwelled, right into Western Asia.
Right.
Well, the Hamites also dwelled in the whole region where the land of Israel is, all the way to where Iraq was basically Hamites. The Canaanites were up in that land, who the sons of Ham, what they would call Africans today. And that's another story, because that's not what this lesson is about. This lesson is about the tariffs and the coming together of all of Asia, just like when Xerxes came against Greece, because Greece also set where? In Asia. Okay? So Alexander of Macedon, when he conquered all of Asia, including the portion that they now call Europe, once again for a false racial social constructs. Matter of fact, before I go any further, I'm just going to provide that receipt for anyone that might be new.
And if I remember correctly, I believe Europe today also made up the Roman Empire. Okay. because ultimately the original Romans and the original Greeks, originally they were of Japhetic origin. Now the Japhites today would be, the so-called Hawaiians, the Mauians, the Samoans, you know, and I believe the Etruscans, which were Japhetic people, okay, their last king or ruler was Servius Tellius, okay, and I believe after he died, Esau went in there, killed off those Japhetic people, and then the Edomites, which would be the self-proclaimed white men today, they started calling themselves Greeks and Romans, you know. So as you can see, Esau has a history of stealing people's the identity of other nations.
And so that you could screenshot this, make a short of it, whatever, to prove a point, to prove the fact that there was no such thing as Europe or European people. They're actually all in the land of Asia. All right. And they created this whiteness, once again, to substantiate the fraud that is white superiority and not acknowledge the truth. All right. Because it's funny how people still regurgitate the throw up madness of there being two sets of white people. That Japhet was driven out of his land by the Edomites.
Yep.
And Japhet basically had Asia, especially the portion that they call Europe. So I'm going to provide a receipt, and then I'm going to go on about these tariffs and the real reason that this map is up. But I have to explain that, because that's been a big, it's been a lot of great frauds that Esau Edom has used.
In which these tariffs that Donald Trump is going for, it's going to cause NATO to not want to, be an ally of the U.S. And we know that according to Obadiah 1:6, America's allies are going to, I believe it's Obadiah 1:7, excuse me. We know that America's allies are going to turn on her, okay? Now, we go to Revelation 17, right? And verse 16. Just get there real quick, okay? Look. And the 10 horns. Now, the 10 horns are the European Economic Community, which makes up, several cities. I mean, I don't need to list them all, but the 10 cities which have been given a power and authority from the main government heads, which NATO has 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, the 7 heads are Germania Major, Germania Minor, the French, the Romans, the British, the Spanish, and I believe the Greeks. Okay, and the 10 cities would be like Denmark, Netherlands, Iceland, Puerto Rico, Spain. I believe Denmark is another one. I'm not gonna name them all, but you see, the 10 horns are the 10 cities that Donald Trump is currently, putting tariffs on, right? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast to be in NATO, okay, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And this is a metaphor. This is a dark saying for NATO. One day NATO is going to shoot intercontinental ballistic missiles upon the United States of America. Okay, so making her naked. America being made naked it's talking about the desolation in the book of Isaiah. Let's get that real quick, okay? Being naked and getting burned with fire. That fire is nuclear fire. Um, which is gonna come from NATO. Okay, Isaiah 13, and let's just go straight to 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And how was ancient Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? By fire and brimstone. It was judged by fire, okay? Which was an order that was issued out by Yahweh, okay? For the sins and wickedness of that city, okay? In which the same things are going on here in America, especially in these prison systems, okay? Men are getting sodomized left and right, man. Okay? So, you know, they promote these behaviors in prison, talking about Esau. But it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, right? But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there. And this is an indication of what? America is going to be a desert after the nuclear destruction of this place, right? But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. So these are all desert-like animals that's going to be dwelling in America after the fire and the flames go out. And NATO's not the only country that's going to shoot nuclear warheads on this country. You know, China is also going to do it. Russia is going to do it. Germany, North Korea, India, Iran. All of these countries that have nuclear capability is going to shoot nuclear warheads on the land of Israel and on the United States of America. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, her days shall not be prolonged. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. So on to the next one.